guys, welcome to our channel. Today I wanted to introduce you to another project. As you know, Mike and I are notorious for buying shitbox cars that we fix up and make roadworthy. Some we turn into fun cars, some we sell. Most are sitting over here on this left beside me. But anyway, I want to introduce you to our 2005 STI. This car has quite the story. It has sat in a Oklahoma field for the last 2 years or so. It does have quite a laundry list of problems. Mike and I have owned it for about 2 weeks now. There are a ton of crusty, dusty, disgusting parts on this thing, but we are so excited to bring it back to life. We've had to jump through quite a few hoops in the past with a number of the cars that we've owned, but I think this one's going to throw us for an adventure. In a few minutes, Mike's going to walk you around the car and explain to you the few problems that we've fixed thus far and maybe a few of our plans. So stay tuned.
For a 2005 STI, it's in pretty stock form as it sits. It does have an intake that may be an aftermarket wide pipe. I'm pretty sure it is. I have suspicions that's rebuilt or maybe even just a Chinese turbo. That to me looks like some cast aluminum spray paint versus what they look like from the factory. I believe it was probably in a front end collision at some point because it's got this cheap aftermarket radiator. It's universal for auto trans and manual trans. It's got performance radiator cap on there, so I'll get coil rad thrown in here shortly. It is wired up for a sub, or actually 2 subs I believe, so I need to go through and pull all of that wiring out there. It does still have the top mount intercooler sprayer in the tank in the trunk. I was pretty excited about that, as that's something I haven't seen on any of the other STI or STI swaps that Allie and I have owned. Allie recently went through and cleaned up both of the headlights. Don't mind the knifeless tape on that headlight, getting ready to do some wrapping. They were pretty corroded and hazy when we got them. That was just a real quick pass Allie did on her dual action polisher. They look really good. Looks like someone actually went through and cleared these headlights at some point, I believe. I think that's typically a chrome color. It looks like they've been spray painted. Coincidentally enough, that color is actually a pretty close match to the wrap color that we decided to go with. I didn't even think of that until I was shooting this video. So one of the biggest factors on why we're able to get this car so cheap is the condition that it was in here on the driver's side. This side obviously sat in the sun for quite a while. As much of the clear coat here on the back side has just been completely faded off, as you can see. It was also in an accident at one point here on this rear quarter panel. It was previously repaired. When we got it, the Bondo was actually just flaking off. I think I have a few pictures of that that'll repair work there. It doesn't look great, but it sure looks a lot better than it did previously. The unfortunate thing is if we go over to the passenger side, it's dirty, but as you can see, the passenger side is not nearly as bad. The roof is pretty bad as well. Working on filling some holes there right now. That way it's ready for wrap here in the coming days. The biggest reason why we're able to get this car so cheap is it actually is a theft recovery. As you can tell, everything is still all there. It does have 2 keys, one for the door, one for the ignition, telling me the ignition has been replaced at some point. But all the big pieces are there. But unfortunately, due to that, it does carry a salvage title. Allie and I recently actually went through the process of converting that over to a rebuilt from salvage title. If you're not familiar, in Colorado, you have to stamp the driver's side B pillar with the rebuilt from salvage. That is what we tried to do. It's etched pretty deeply into the paint. Came from Kansas at some point. There's the sticker from Kansas. And here is what I was forced to do at State Patrol when getting it inspected. They're very adamant that it's actually stamped into the B pillar. Even though it's not even legible, this is what they required. The metal down here is super soft, so as you can see, it did not go well and was a pretty painful process to do. So probably go ahead and fix that up. Kind of disappointing that we ended up doing that for nothing. Interior's in pretty decent shape. Allie spent almost a whole day working to clean up a lot of what was in there. The carpets were hardly even blue when we bought it. Obviously, the driver's seat does show a little bit of wear, as to be expected. Still want to go through and maybe get a carpet shampooer to finish cleaning up the seats. But overall, door cards are in good shape, dash is in good shape, passenger seat looks brand new. Center console is disgusting, so need to work on that, but pretty happy with that. 05 steering wheel is so much better than what you got in 04. As much as I would have loved a Java Black Pearl 04, I much prefer the steering wheel and the fender flares in the rear that you get on the 05. No idea if this is the original cluster, but it is only showing 112,000 miles, so for 2005, that's pretty low miles. The DCCD controller is still working and functioning, so that's a positive. You never know what you're going to get with a cheap STI like this. Obviously, it's in the garage right now, but no check engine lights, no airbag lights, no lights in general. Just ran it here for about a half an hour, no issues. Seems to be running really good. So overall, pretty happy with that.
As you can see, we have quite the adventure ahead of us. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch our first video. Hopefully it wasn't too rough to get through. We look forward to growing this channel with you and growing our video skills. We have plenty of things planned for our lovely STI as well as the other projects in our garage. So please stay tuned. Let me know if you have any input. Maybe hit that like button or subscribe, as those YouTubers say. I'm not really sure how this works. Thanks, and have a great night.